and welcome to YouTube Tuesday with me, Jessica Brigden of JessBCreativeCardiology. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Today we are making some sweet and simple cards. We are playing with Stampin' Up's new Painterly Pears suite. Let me show you the front. Yes, beautiful summer fun, gorgeous golden pears here. And the suite is beautiful. And to go along with that, the designer series paper has a lot of the new in colors. We've got our Darling Duckling and some Secret Sea in here. And those new in colors, that's the 5 colors that were just released this month. All right, let me go ahead and show them to you. So we have Cloud Cover and Darling Duckling and Secret Sea and Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger. Anything with these 5 colors in them, so that's the ink pads, the ribbon, the markers, the Stampin' Blends, cardstock, and any coordinating product with it, including designer series paper that contain any of these colors, including embellishments. So the part of this Painterly Pears suite also includes these sparkle dots that have some Darling Duckling dots in them. All right, anything with these 5 colors this month, that's August 5th, so that started today, August 5th through 31st, 2025 here. All of these in color products are 15% off. So that means instead of the regular price of $12.50, the designer pears, the designer series paper of the pears is on sale for 10 something. So really nice to be able to get a discount on some of your favorite new in color products. So we are going to make some sweet and simple cards today, show off that beautiful Painterly Pears designer series paper. We're going to use some Darling Duckling and Secret Sea in colors and make some fun cards. So I hope you'll join me. All right, let me go ahead and we'll flip the camera and get it started. I see my hubby's jumping in for moral support there. Hey, babe. And if you are watching along too, make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know where you are tuning in from and if you're live or watching the replay. So let me show you the items in the Painterly Pears Suite collection. Okay, so it is a full collection of product, and that includes the Perfectly Pears stamp set. And we have the coordinating dies, and I've got some of them pulled out that I've been using, and I keep a little clear envelope in here with some of my extra die cut pieces because what's nice is that the dies also work on several of the images within the paper pack as well. We have these sparkle dots that have the Darling Duckling. This is kind of a mixture of the Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, and then we have Secret Sea here as well. We have some Mossy Meadow sparkle ribbon. I think you can see the gold shimmer in that. This is a really pretty ribbon. It's textured on one side with the full-on gold sparkle, and then the other side just is a little more subtle, but it is double-sided here. Very pretty. And then, of course, the star of the show here is the designer series paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. Nice bright colors. This is Secret Sea with Old Olive. We've got, again, full page sheets that you can cut up into sections, 6 pieces here to make 6 different cards, or you can use them as the background on a scrapbook page. All right, the back of that, we've got some pretty petal pink. All right, now this full sheet of images coordinates with the dies. So we've got the full-size pears, the little pear duo, including the stems and leaves, and the trio of flower blossoms all have die cuts. All right, and we've got a gorgeous leaf pattern on the back. I love, love, love. Look at how beautiful and vibrant this is against that Secret Sea background. So pretty. All right, again, this is the Darling Duckling with some petal pink throughout. We've got, again, a Darling Duckling with the greens, all right, our Mossy Meadow and Old Olive here, and then some pretty little florals on the back. And then even this one, we have one of our new neutrals. That's the basic beige is the background color for this sheet. Along, we've got some early espresso in here. Very pretty, and again, mossy meadow and old olive background there. So gorgeous designer paper. We are going to use a couple of these prints, all right, and make some sweet and simple cards. So I'll tuck this back in here. All right, the first one we are going to start with here has a petal pink background, okay, and so we've got a half sheet of cardstock here in our petal pink, just 5.5 by 8.5. We'll go ahead and fold that at the 4 1/4 mark and score that. Now I think I might need to cut some. Oh, do I have some? Oh, look at that. I do have a couple pieces of basic white. I try to keep a stash of basic white pieces at 4 by 5 1/4 for my card insert. So that worked out well. We'll go ahead and tuck this on the inside. All right, so that is all ready to write out and send a message. Okay, now here is a trick for our next layer. I'm using Mossy Meadow, okay, and I've cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. So this is a nice background layer behind my gorgeous petal pink pears. However, I want to do a little die cut image. So because this Mossy Meadow is going to be sandwiched between the card base and our designer series paper, I went ahead and used one of my textured notes dies. Okay, so you can get the textured notes as a bundle here with the stamp set, or you can do just the dies. All right, in which case I went ahead and used, this is the 3rd size die. It's kind of got a little basket weave impression that it leaves on that. And so I die cut that directly from the center of my Mossy Meadow cardstock layer, and I'm going to save this for later, which means I can go ahead and adhere this background piece, and nobody will be any the wiser that there's a chunk missing out of the middle. All right, so a great way to maximize your cardstock. Okay, so we go ahead and stick that right on the designer series paper layer. This is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so we're going to glue this right over the top, and oops, got carried away with my adhesive here. All right, stick this right over the top, and that little hole in the middle will be totally covered up. Okay, so that works perfect. So then we've got our gorgeous textured notes die cut that we cut out of the middle. I'm going to glue this flat. I do not want my card to be too bulky, and I am going to pop up the pears. So I'm going to glue this one flat to help avoid any extra bulk. And this is going to go right there in the center of my card. Like I said, totally sweet and simple. Okay, just basic cuts here for our card so far. Now I did use the next size, so the 2nd size here of the textured notes dies. Again, these are so fun because they all have slightly different designs that they impress onto your cardstock as you die cut it. All right, so I did this one out of basic white. So this will be for my sentiment label. All right, and it's probably a good idea to go ahead and stamp my sentiment first. Now I did get a little glue on there when my tape runner took off on me, but that's okay. I'm gonna put my pears over there so that part will be hidden. All right, so with this stamp set, we have a congratulations, a good friend is a gift, hello, thank you, and friend, along with the 2-step pear images, the leaves, and we've got flowers, flower centers, and then just some little speckles there as well. So let's go ahead. I think I'm gonna do a thank you for this one. All right, so I'm going to stick that on my block, and I'm going to use some Mossy Meadow ink. All right, this is my old style ink pad. All right, little Mossy Meadow here, and I'm going to stamp this towards the right. All right, so in the middle, but towards the right, because I'm going to put my little die cut pears there on the left. All right, that came out good. All right, so again, because I've got several layers here, I am going to glue this flat and we'll pop up our pears. Okay, so we'll layer this right on top. Look how nicely this textured notes dies layer on top of each other. They are back in stock. They were on a run there for the months of, well, latter part of June right through into July. All right, I'm using up some dimensionals here, but they are now back in stock, so you can get your textured notes bundle or your dies. Okay, and these definitely rectangles are so essential. So go ahead and grab those in the online store. Let's put some dimensionals here on our little die cut pears. All right, a couple pieces should be good. Now this is the little pear duo. Aren't they cute? So pretty. Like I said, I cut those right here from the designer series paper. All right, with my die cuts. All right, so you've got the image for the duo. We've got, all right, so thankfully both, even though the coloring, the shading is a little bit different on the various large pears, the die does mix with all of them. Okay, and then we've also got the die for the stems and the leaves here. I love it when you can die cut the designer paper. Hi, Luann, so glad to see you here. Glad you're feeling better. Oh, good, good. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the last video, which Luann is referencing the bookmarks video, which I think I have one here. Hang on. Luann was the inspiration for these page flag bookmarks that I made as gifts for a luncheon that we were helping with yesterday. It's been, yeah, last week I was in school. I was a student last week. And then yesterday we had coordinated a luncheon for 35 people. And so it's been a busy couple weeks. If you wonder why you didn't see me Friday and why I haven't been hosting as many classes and things, it's just been a little nuts. But thankfully, I think later this week, things should start to calm down. I have a kit class on Saturday for some friends, and then I'm really hoping to get my craft room all cleaned out. But yes, Luann was the inspiration for these, and my last video last week, so that's a week ago, Tuesday, you can find the instructions for the 6x6 designer series paper bookmark holders, all right, on my YouTube channel there. So thank you. All right, and then let's see, we've also got from the paper, we've got the little die here that fits the little flower trio. Okay, and then you got some extra little pieces that you can use, little sentiment blocks. This one cuts 5 of the dainty little flowers, and you've got a little blossom there too. All right, so fun. Okay, and then, all right, so that's all the die cut images there. All right, so you can check those out. Okay, so we're going to adhere our little pear duo onto our card and add a little bit of embellishments. Yes, Luann mentioned the original bookmark tutorial did come from Sam Hammond, otherwise known as Poodles from the UK. I love her, and I tweaked the tutorial just a bit because her original bookmark called for, I believe it was paper that was 6 1/4 by 6 3/4, and I modified it for a 6x6. Yep, so love that. Love that we can share ideas with each other. So fun. All right, so I'm going to use these beautiful, can you see the sparkle on them? They've all got a little bit of glimmer in there too. Now these are the low profile, which means they're fairly flat, all right? So they won't get caught in the mail machine and not require extra postage. Low profile sparkle dots, 166157. All right, so the nice thing with this, you can purchase the whole suite. However, because of the 15% off in color special this month, I definitely recommend purchasing your embellishments in your paper separately. Again, the low profile dots here, these are gonna be 15% off. And the designer series paper pack, okay, the Pears paper here. This one is 166146. Again, that is also 15% off. And then of course, if you do your stamp and die bundle together, you save an extra 10% there as well. So let's go ahead and adhere a couple of these fun little sparkle dots, and let's see, maybe we'll go with the mossy meadow here. All right, so I'm gonna use my take my pick tool here. We'll add a couple of these fun, let me do 2 different sizes. So we're gonna do, oops, peel these off. All right, small and large, and then, come on, I'm pushing them around. My nails are very short right now. Trying to grow them back out, and then we'll attempt another manicure. All right, so just a little trio of sparkle gems, and there we have our sweet and simple Painterly Pears, the first card. Okay. All right, so the next one we are going to use a couple of our in colors, and like I said, these are on sale, 15% off. So we're going to start with some Darling Duckling. All right, so our Darling Duckling card base at 5.5 by 8.5. And all right, where did my bone folder disappear to? It was right here in front of me, and oh yeah, there it goes. It was hiding behind the shears in my little bucket here. All right, so fold this one in half. Now, as this card was landscape, we're gonna go portrait on this one. All right, so again, our basic white 4 by 5.25. All right, and whoops, let's make sure card opens correctly. I have assembled them the wrong way before, so always good to double check. Alrighty, yeah, so we open correctly. Now I didn't have any special die cutting on this one, so I'm using a layer of Secret Sea. All right, that's the super duper dark, deep dark blue, and I'll show you a little difference. This is Secret Sea, and look how much brighter the Night of Navy is with it. All right, so they definitely are 2 very distinct colors. All right. So Secret Sea 4 by 5.25. Now, if you wanted to do any die cutting, you could, because again, we're going to place our Painterly Pears designer paper layer over top. And this time I'm using that gorgeous Secret Sea with these. It really makes the colors pop here. All right, so I love, I love color. And did you guys notice that my shirt is Mossy Meadow? Like, it totally matched. On purpose, of course. All right, so again, this layer is 3 3/4 by 5. So both cards follow that same format. You got your card base, your contrasting cardstock layer at 4 by 5.25, and then your designer series paper layer at 3 3/4 by 5. Oh, so pretty. Okay, now with this one, I did want something. I wanted my pears, and I wanted to be able to stamp a sentiment and have it kind of pop out. All right, so you'll notice this circle die cut here. Now you could use our Stylish Shapes circles. What I am using is the Spotlight on Nature dies. All right, this is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, a set of 12 dies. All of the circles do nest, so they layer together nicely, and some of them have this ridging, others have this cute little flower pattern, a little stitching. All right, so every other layer has a different pattern there. All right, unfortunately, the Spotlight on Nature dies were retired. Stampin' Up! Discontinued those and they are no longer available. So, with that being said, Stampin' Up! Did add, hi Karen, hope you're having a great lunch break. Yes, with that being said, as far as today as well, Stampin' Up! Did update not only the last chance list, but they also added in some additional clearance items that were formerly celebration goodies. So if you loved some of those celebration items that were available back in January and February, and you had to place a minimum, I believe it was, what did they raise it to, $60 order in order to get those free. Those items were added to the online store today, and you could purchase them directly. So a whole bunch of sales updated today, as well as the 15% off in color promotion. Yeah, so lots. Oh, and 3 new kits dropped today. So all kinds of exciting stuff happening. So definitely check out my online store there. All right, let's see. We're gonna do a little duo of pairs. I think let's just keep this. We'll just keep it simple. How about just a simple hello? All right, and then I can use it for anything here. All right, my little hello there, and I thought I had a little block. There we do. All right, I think I'm gonna go with Secret C here. All right, we were talking about our in colors. All right, there we go. I had moved those over to the side. So if you have not yet purchased your in color ink pads, your ink refills, your markers, even the little stamp and spot assortments, there's one that contains the cloud cover mini ink spot, and there's one that contains, I believe, the Darling Duckling ink spot. So there's 2 ink spot assortments. Those are also included in the 15% off sale. So it's very comprehensive, a lot of things included here. You know what, before I ink that or stamp that, let's go ahead, let's arrange our pairs here and kind of see how we would like these. All right, so I think I'm gonna stagger them a little bit. And then we've got our stems. I think I will use some mini glue dots for the stems. And I had a pack of those. I thought oh yes, I do have some opened. All right, so let's go ahead. We're just gonna use the base of our stem here. And we'll attach that to our pair. Okay, and then we'll do the other one. Okay, just gently peel those off. All right, so we've got our pairs. Let's flip these over. I'm gonna use some dimensionals. You know what, let's adhere our circle first. I'm gonna glue that flat. All right, and I'm gonna go right in the center. Well, let's go a little higher. We'll go a little bit more towards the top. All right, so it's equal from left, top, and right. Okay, and then our dimensionals, which, here we go. These are almost done, so I think I can finish these up. We'll just put 2 hunks on each pair. And look at that, I used the whole sheet. All right, feeling accomplished there. I love that. Okay, so peel the backing off of those. And let's see here. Yeah, oh, yeah, I like that. Kind of overlap them a little bit. Again, I want to make sure they stay on the card. Okay, so I'm pushing the limits. All right, that one goes right up against the left. Yes, isn't the back of the pears cool? Yes, I love that pattern. So even if you're totally not totally into fruit, some of these patterns are really, really nice. Yeah, so the back of that is a bold, kind of a tropical leaf pattern on there too. Really pretty. All right, so I got that. Now we can stamp. I've got my little hello. I think I've got, well, let's see here. Yeah, I'll go right down here. Okay, oops. All right, and then, well, I don't know. I guess it depends. Do I want to add, ooh, actually, let's see if we want to add any flowers in here or not. We can just kind of play around with it, and then we can decide. We can kind of intertwine them a little bit. I don't know. I'm kind of liking it without the flowers even. What do you guys think? With flowers, without flowers? I think I kind of like it without. Yeah, be tempted to cut out more pears and use the backs. Oh yeah, that would be a great option. Kind of do like a little silhouette or something. Luann is talking about using the back side of the paper here and even just cutting that out in like a pear shape. Yeah, that would be cool. And then you could do, so the possibilities are endless here. All right, so I think I am gonna forego the little flower there. There is even a branch die here. And I die cut that in some, actually that's kind of cool. All right, so I had done this in basic beige, and let me show you what I was thinking, and then we can decide if we want to use it or not. Let me pull in some scrap, just some chipboard here. All right, so I do have some sponge daubers. All right, and make sure I don't have any full color on them. So what I was thinking was, all right, using early espresso here, of course, for the stems. All right, so I'm just gonna add some ink up through here. Okay, so the sponge daubers are great. I believe they're sold in a set of 5. Okay, and then my Mossy Meadow. Here we go. And use another dauber. Let me see, does that one have some? Okay, this one's a little darker. All right, and then use some Mossy Meadow ink here for the leaves. And I went pretty dark on here, but you don't have to go quite that dark. You could leave as much of the background color showing as you want. So I had done basic beige, but crumb cake would look nice as well. Just a light, you could even use white, just a light neutral there. And that way you can do a 2-tone with your branch and your leaves, okay? And I think with that, I've got some mini dimensionals here. So I did not die cut this with I thought about die cutting it with the adhesive sheet, but I didn't necessarily want to glue this whole piece flat. I thought I would use the mini dimensionals here to pop up these leaves. And yeah, I think that would be sufficient there. So if we remove the background from these. Okay. All right, then slide this over here, okay? Then I could use this, and I'm gonna kind of weave it among my pears. All right, there we go. Just kind of tuck the, oops, that one kind of stuck. I don't want to stick yet. All right, weave it among the stems a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then we can place it in position here. All right, actually that leaf from behind, I'm gonna pull this up, there we go, so that one kind of layers. So I got multiple layers of the leaves, but yeah, we've got this fun little branch in here. So it's kind of connecting them like a little pear tree. Okay, and then I think I'm going to use the Darling Duckling sparkle dots here to really bring out that bright yellow. Okay, so let's see here. Try these. Oh, there we go. All right, let's do one down here. I'm gonna do a larger one. I think one would look cool right on the pear itself. All right, I'm gonna kind of work my, somehow I ended up a little bit lopsided, so I'm gonna use my embellishments to kind of fill in that white space just a little bit. All right, and then it looks like that was all done on purpose. Now I did 3. You could definitely, you could do some more, maybe one here, here. I don't know, sometimes less is more, so I tend to go with a little bit less because then I get carried away and I have sparkles everywhere, which which is fine too. If you love an abundance of sparkle, then by all means, more glitter to you. But there we have it. We have a couple of sweet and simple cards using the Painterly Pears Sweet Collection. Really beautiful, fun summer colors heading, I don't want to say heading into fall. It feels like we wait so long to get summer here in central New York that I'm not thinking about fall yet. Although I know I just read, my husband works for a company based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and in their newsletter, they said their kids were going back to school this week. And I'm like, oh my goodness, our kids up here just got out of school a month ago. So yeah, depending on what part of the country you are in. So you might be feeling a little more autumn, but I love these bright, vibrant, beautiful colors. Again, using some of our new in colors. We've got our Darling Duckling, some Secret Sea there, and this beautiful Painterly Pears designer series paper. So check out that in color sale and that 15% off special. All right, the new online exclusives, as well as all those additional last chance clearance sales. And be aware, Stampin' Up!, when they say last chance, that means it could go at any time. They have been known here recently to just pull items from the online store, even if they weren't previously low inventory. So we haven't totally worked out their whole new system for that, but if you see something you love, make sure you grab it, okay? Because it might not be there tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's projects, make sure you give me that thumbs up, like, subscribe, show me the love. Thank you, thank you. Stay cool. Today's a good day to be inside doing some stamping. We have an air quality advisory here in central New York for those. It was really, really hazy, smoke-filled air coming down from those wildfires up in northern Canada. I guess that way the weather system pushes the air around, it's hovered right over New York. So good day to be inside and crafting where the air is clear. So thank you so much. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you on Friday. Alrighty, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.